AITA for refusing to have a fully child-free wedding? So I recently proposed to my long-term girlfriend, and we are planning for a wedding in summer next year. Everything is still very early stages. My fiancé has expressed that she wants a child-free wedding, which I am all down for, but I want to make one expectation. My son, 15M. I had him from a previous relationship and we have evenly split custody of him. Until now my fiancé has gotten along great with him. We've had days out as a family. She's gone to see his games. He plays ice hockey. And she's even taken him out on fun days, just the two of them. I brought up that I wanted to make an exception to the no kids rule for my son. She shot the idea down straight away and said that she didn't want anyone under 16 there, as she doesn't want to feel like she or anyone else has to babysit on her special day. I told her that no one would have to babysit him. He's 15 and she knows he's well-behaved and a generally quiet kid. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family. I told her while I will be making a commitment to her, my son will still very much be my son and my family. She then equated it to wanting my ex at our wedding, which I do not and never asked. I told her that I don't care about the aesthetics of the wedding, and that she can pick everything else. The food, the aesthetic, the music, the dress. But all I want is my family at the wedding. My parents, my sisters and my son. That is my only ultimatum when it comes to our wedding. She started calling me controlling by giving me an ultimatum and said I had initially agreed to a child-free wedding and now I am gaslighting her. I said we can have a mainly child-free wedding, but with this one exception. An expectation that guests can't even complain about being unfair since the only child is the son of the groom. She called me a dick and is now not talking to me. I really think this is a reasonable want, but maybe I am not seeing something. So AITA? Wow. She doesn't want your own child to come to your own wedding. And not a crying baby or a terrible two. But a 15-year-old. A kid that will be old enough to drive next year when the wedding is? If this goes on as she wants, do you think your kid won't remember? Yay. I'm sorry, bud. This is all kinds of evil stepmother red flags, the whole thing about you making a new commitment to her and her family, and equating having your son there to having your ex-wife there. Dude. Get out now while you just have to eat the non-refundable deposits for the wedding. Save yourself and your kid a world of hurt. YWBTA if you marry this woman. Edit to add. You have never had a fight like this before. Because up to this point, she has been putting on a show. But now she is comfortable enough in the relationship to show you who she really is. NTA. Read carefully. It reminds me of another post on Reddit. Same situation, the girl did not wanted her boyfriend to bring his daughter from his previous relationship to the wedding. Guess what? After he said that it was not negotiable cause his daughter will always be his priority and family, she admitted that she was expecting that he will become some kind of holidays dad. She was hoping that when they will get children together his daughter will be less present in his dad's mind and life. The guy did not even think about it twice. He was disgusted, as he should, and dumped her. Then he went with his daughter on holidays during the week the wedding should have occurred. Starting a new family does not mean that you should dump the previous one or make it less valuable. And just imagine the image that your son is going to have of you and her. Sorry, English is not my native language. Update. As someone's commented below, she should want his son to be present as much as him. She is the one who entered into his family. Son plus father. Sometimes on Reddit I think that people are overreacting, but for once it's not the case at all. Your son is your family. He is not a ghost of your old life. Please. I beg you take the good decision and to be a good example for your son. Don't go through with this wedding. Your fiancé is being controlling, gaslighting you, and showing you exactly how she will behave if you are married. She doesn't want your son in the picture and will do everything she can to ruin what relationship you have with him. She equates him being at your wedding to your ex being there. Your son equals your ex to her, and you will end up wondering why you're in a miserable marriage and never see your son anymore. NTA. She's TA. NTA. Even at child-free weddings, there are reasonable exceptions, and a child of the bride and/or groom are very reasonable exceptions. Of course, if the child is of a very young age, it could be unfair on the guests if the kid gets free run to disrupt the wedding, whilst older, better behaved children aren't invited on the basis of being distractions. And given he's 15 now and the wedding is next summer, surely by then he will be only at most a few months shy of her cutoff? Since you say she's a long-term girlfriend, I presume that fiancé has known your child some time. And you've proposed. So I am also presuming she's not excluded him before. But now. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family. Wow. So what? Is she expecting the boy to no longer be a part of your life the moment you say, I do? Because that revised reason for excluding him from the wedding screams that she's already mentally excluding him from your life. But let's pretend she didn't suggest your son was simply part of your old life. Let me ask you a few questions here. Exactly how old will your son be at the time of the wedding? Who chose the wedding date? Was it a mutual decision? Or picked by one of you then simply agreed by the other? Why is the cutoff 16? Not 18? Is her 16-year cutoff allowing a teenage guest of her own to attend? NTA. There is a giant red flag on the play here. Your son is your son. He's not going anywhere. Ask why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family. She seems to be under some sort of illusion your relationship with your son will change when you're married to her. You need to resolve this or very seriously reconsider. Blended families are tough, and I think she has a fantasy in mind. You're not fitting into it because you have a history she isn't able to contend with. NTA. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family. Your fiancé just showed her hand. She considers your son part of your old life and your old family. That lil slip-up may very well mean she is only tolerating your son and will start trying to push him aside once you're married, not to mention favoring any children you have with her over him. I would think very carefully about whether this is the woman you want to marry or not after her ultimatum. I got as far as you, old family, and she is your new family. This woman will destroy your relationship with your son and anyone else from your past. She has given you a glimpse of what is coming your way. Once married, she will slowly manipulate it so you are being separated from your son, any friends that knew you before, and any family members that still have contact with your ex. I can tell you from experience, most of the time someone claims you are gaslighting them. They are the ones doing it. Even if she changes her tune about your son coming and blames wedding nerves or other conditions, do not fall for it. She has shown you who she really is. She may start to backpedal a bit when she sees this isn't her hill to fight on. Don't let that fool you. Anyone who refers to you child as part of your old life and says you might as well be inviting your ex is not a decent person to have around your son. She wants to exclude your son from your wedding. Read that again. Now think about if this is how she is before marriage. Imagine how much emotional damage she will do to that poor child after marriage. She wants to exclude him from your life. This is just the start. Dude, you can't marry someone who calls your child your old family. She has no interest in him. That's not healthy for a teen. If you marry someone who doesn't want him around next, she'll demand that she be your sole inheritor. And promise to make sure your son is taken care of in the event of your death. Dude, she doesn't want your kid around. She called him being there, babysitting. Why WBTA to marry her? Why are you going through with getting married to a person who thinks your son is your old family? That's a massive red flag, and I would end the relationship immediately. Your son should come first, and if she's not willing to actually accept and embrace him, you should not be bringing her into his life. You're right. You're not seeing something. You're not seeing the giant red flag your fiancé is waving in your face. She says your son is your past and she is your new family? If she was mine, she'd now be in the rearview mirror for so badly disrespecting my son and our relationship. NTA. NTA. Big red flag. I would not marry that woman. Why you want your old family? Son. At your wedding. Your son is your life and family, not the old family. She will ever have a problem with your son. I don't think this is a good start into the marriage. Also, her response is a big red flag. The relationship between you and your son will get massively damaged if you let this pass. Fucking everyone will be around. I cannot express the feeling he will feel when this happens. Pull the plug, it's not too late. This will lead to divorce in a few years, especially if you are earning more money, as she and you are a wallet for her. NTA. Major red flags. Child-free in most people's minds typically wouldn't include those in HS. Why is she cool with a 16-year-old but not 15? If that's true, you could say, okay, no problem sweetie. We'll just have to make sure the wedding is after son's birthday, so he can come, and smile away. Note, I wouldn't actually recommend this nuclear fight starter. But she's got a big problem coming that you need to talk through. WTF? You are going to marry a woman who doesn't want your own son at your wedding. I'd think hard before marrying her, and also before uninviting your teenage son. He's 15 years old. He's obviously going to understand and be horribly hurt by being not invited to his own father's wedding. I can't even believe you are asking this question here. Don't marry her. Obviously your son is not her priority, and she probably will suggest having him live with his mother permanently. Don't do it. NTA. And frankly, your fiancé is waving a couple of huge red flags. Her equating your son to your ex is alarming. You didn't get divorced from him. He is still properly part of your family and life going forward. She wants to shut him out starting from the wedding, going straight to accusations of abuse, i.e. you are controlling, gaslighting her. Making offense the best defense is an extremely bad sign for the future. You need to focus on these red flags and what they really mean. Don't focus on the deck chairs when you may be heading toward a couple of icebergs. NTA. ND. She's even taken him out on fun days, just the two of them. Even like it's unexpected. Yikes. Have there been no other red flags before this incident of her not accepting your son as a family member? She has certainly turned into a selfish, manipulative, victim-claiming jerk. My initial thought was to push back the wedding until he becomes 16 and she can't say boo. But I think she flat out does not want your son in her wedding. Throwing out a bunch of victim buzzwords does not take the onus off of her for being an insensitive and uncaring fool. Think twice on this one. Personally, I wouldn't go through with a relationship if they had qualms about allowing my child at My own wedding, a child who is fully capable of behaving properly. Your son is more important than she is. NTA. This is a major red flag. What she wants is you without your son. I suspect she will try to reduce the time you spend with him, eventually having him live permanently with his mother after the wedding. Don't marry her. Don't put her above your own flesh and blood. Well, wedding's off. Suggest you move on. You've just caught a glimpse of the rest of your life otherwise. Break the engagement. If I were in your shoes, I couldn't bear not having my only child at my big day. And on top of that, she gets along with him any other time. But oh, if you want to invite your only child, it's gonna ruin everything. And he's not really a child, he's a teenager, he should know right from wrong. Plus, if she starts gaslighting about the wedding itself, just ignore her and cut off all contact. I couldn't stand somebody like her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.